Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I want to talk about water. Water is very important. I would say water is more important than electricity in the sense that you got to have it. Now, you could be in the city, you could be in an apartment. Your water plan is going to be different than mine. Your water plan is going to be different than the people that live in rural areas. That's just how it has to be. If you're on city water, there's not a lot you can do. There are some things, and I'll talk about it. But for you, if you're in the apartment, you're going to have to just do storage of water. Be it water bottles, be it 1 gallon of water, be it 5-gallon water cans, whatever you can do. After you get your water where you feel you're comfortable with, if it's 2 week supply, 1 week, whatever you're comfortable with, think about your resupply. How am I going to get more water to fill up my containers? That has to be just as important as, you know, the few gallons you have stuck under the bed or in the pantry. Resupply. This is my water plan. This plan is unique for me. It works for me because I'm out in the country. I already have a well. So I have a well, and I'll show you the well. This is the well right here. This is the well casing. So that well casing goes all the way down until it hits solid rock, and then they don't put any more casing. So they drill a lot farther. I think there's like 40 or 50 feet of casing, that white 6-inch pipe going all the way down. The well goes 165, this well is. Now, when they drill water, or drill for water, the static water level is the water that's in the pipe. So if I took that cap off and I measured down, it's about 30 feet. So that's my static water. So, I have the option of putting a pump on this. You all know the little pitcher pumps, the old pitcher pumps, those can only pull water from a certain distance because they're sucking the water up. This actually has, the pump is about 80-90 feet down, attached to this. It's just white pipe, and it has a sucker rod, and up there's a pump down here. And when I pump this, it's pulling that water up. Now, every time I do this, it's about a good 8 ounces. So you can fill something up quickly. So this is a manual, simple pump. And I have no affiliate with Simple Pump. I don't get paid a commission. I don't get paid anything. I've had this probably 8, 9, 10 years. So this is a way I can get water out of my well if the power goes off. Now, there's things you can do to make this more easier for you. This right here is a 12-volt motor, and it's off now. It was on here. This is going to go back onto here. The handle gets taken off, and then I have a 12-volt motor that will manually bring this up and down, and it will pump. Now, because my water is very close to the surface, it doesn't take a lot of effort to get it out. If your water is way down, it's going to take effort. The farther you go down, the more effort it's going to take. When Simple Pump came out, they said you could pump to pressure. So you could actually pressurize my tank. My tank is a tank in the other building. There's 2 of them. And what happens is the pump fills those tanks up, pressurizes those tanks. So every time you turn the spigot on in the house, the pump doesn't have to come on. You'll use the water that's remaining in that tank. So it saves your pump from just, if it didn't have a pressure tank, you'd be on off all day. Because even if you just turned it on for a cup of water, it would kick the pump on. So that's what the pressure tanks are for, to save your pump, make it better for your pump. So if I want to, with the Simple Pump, and it also depends, I think they've changed it where they don't pump the pressure anymore because it was too hard. But my system has no problems doing it. This is a washing machine hose. So it has 2 females on it. I can literally attach it just like this hose is, and I can hook it right to here. If you look right here, you will see a spigot. This spigot is actually water coming from the well, but if my power's off, so my big well pump that's down there is off, I can actually pump this up. The water will come through here, go back into the system, and pressurize my tank. So I can pressurize my tank with this. But I don't want to have to do that. That's an option for me. So I can manually do it, or I can take this 12-volt pump, put it back on here, and it will automatically do it because I have an extra switch here. And so this switch is tied in with the pressure tanks as an additional switch. So I have a switch over there for the main pump, that's electric, and I have another one that's tied in with the simple pump. So if I put this on, I can actually walk away and not even worry about it, and this system will work just like normal, just like the regular electric pump that's in the bottom. So there's two options, 12-volt pump or manually. I want to do another option. I just want redundancy, 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 and this is because I want to take the water from my well and put it in this tank right here. So I can either do it a few ways. I could get a longer hose and dump it into this, or I can put the motor on here and turn a switch and dump the water in there. Either way. But my goal for this backup water system is to get this tank full. After this tank is full, I'm going to use an on-demand 12-volt pump like this. I have three to check. I'm going to actually do all three and see which one works best for me. So I'm going to take this pump and I'm going to pressurize the system. I'm going to push the water back into my system to pressurize my two tanks. So if the power goes off and I have this water sitting here, I can switch a switch and this water will be then sent to my house to pressurize my system. So, is this confusing? I'm just trying to give you options. If you live in the city and you say, Dave, I don't have a well, I don't have anything, I have a pipe coming from the street into my house. You have options with this system and I can show you. What you could do is say, if the water goes down for a long period of time or for permanently, you can say, how am I going to get water in my house? You can use your existing pipes. What you need to do is have a plumber put an off-on switch where the water comes into your house, because you don't want to send any of your water out. I think it's technically illegal, so you need to check your rules. But in a grid down situation, it doesn't really matter. But you want a switch on there so you can turn the switch off, and that way your water won't go back feeding everyone else and contaminate their water. So you can use one of these. You can use one of these or a different pump that I'll be showing you. And basically what you do if the power goes off and your water's not working from the city, go turn your valve off, so now you're cut off from the city water. Turn your pump on, and whenever you open your sink, it will automatically sense a drop in pressure and your pump will fire up. That way, whatever size tank you have that much water available at your sink, so you're not hauling water from outside. So this is definitely an easy system. Now, you need something to power this, and this is right here. This is why I'm using these Power Queens lithium batteries. They're going to be tied together, still 12 volts, so they can power the system for days if I don't get sun. I have two solar panels outside. I'll show you those, and that's what keeps it charged. The components are right here, and I'm going to show you all that in a build. So this is sort of elaborate, but I take water serious. If the grid goes down, I want water. I want clean water. I want safe water. So yes, it's an expensive way of doing it. There's cheaper ways of doing it, and as I go along, I can show you a little bit cheaper. But for sure, you can get a pump, and you get a tank, and if you have a way to keep that running, you got pressurized water in your house. I hope I'm not too confusing. There's a lot of moving parts, but this is a simple pump. This is like the backbone. If you could just have the simple pump, and even if it can't pressurize your house because your water's down too far, this does not get old. That is a beautiful sight. That to me is better than an AR-15 with the latest fanciest gadgets on it. This to me is cooler. This is life. So if you got any questions, let's talk about it. But this is the start of the build for my off-grid expanded water plan. Thanks for watching.